Are you finding it hard to trust your twin flame journey? Do you feel the need for 3D communication in order to understand what's going on? Does it feel like you're going crazy because you don't know if you're on the right path or not? Well, this is happening for a lot of us at the moment. That unworthiness wound is triggered again. But the most important thing that we need to do right now is to trust what we don't see and trust what we feel. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is the thing. We're in this energy. We're losing faith right now because the last couple of weeks of December were really chaotic in connection to our twin flame journey. That unworthiness wound was triggered, and lately over the last few weeks again we're releasing more and more in our 3D reality, and it's surfacing that wound again. And this is the thing, our unworthiness wound right now has been triggered because of dynamics that we've left, friendships that we've had to walk away from, or family members that we've had to distance ourselves from, energies that we've had to leave in the past and leave behind. This has triggered our unworthiness wound again, and this unworthiness wound, it gravitates into everything. So like we're feeling because of the connections we've left behind, or the energies we've left behind, that unworthiness wound was literally loud and clear again, telling us that we weren't good enough, telling us that we weren't choosable, that we weren't lovable, that we weren't this, that we weren't that, which then it gravitates into our career energy, which tells us we're not good enough there, we're not good enough, we're not going to succeed. And then that gravitates into our twin flame energy, which is like literally resurfacing everything. They're not choosing me, they're not wanting me. And this is the thing, and that's been happening over the last few days and last week or two is like we're going through this energy of we need 3D contact. We need 3D contact. If I don't get confirmation, then it's over. What if I'm crazy? What if I'm wrong? All of this stuff is coming back up to the surface. And we actually have to take a step back and start to trust what we feel rather than what we're thinking. Because when our unworthiness wound is heightened, we're going to overthink. We're going to create scenarios that aren't even real. And this is the biggest problem. Like, we're literally making mountains out of molehills here. Do you know what I mean? Like, the silence from our twin flame is making us create stories in our mind because our unworthiness wound has been triggered for other things. You know what I mean? And we think that if we get a text message from them or a warm hug from them, that everything's going to be okay. But what we need to do is heal our stuff first, heal that unworthiness wound, and, trust what we're feeling rather than what we're seeing. And this is the thing. We're actually getting signs left, right, and center. Your twin flame might not be actually confirming to you verbally or through 3D contact that they're doing the work, but they're confirming it on the 5D. And this is big for me. Like, I've been going through some things, and anytime I go into that spiral of doubt, it's gas. Like, I'll be in a spiral of doubt. I'll be going through things in my head, and then this happened lately. I looked at my phone, and the next song, the artist is the same name as my twin flame. That wasn't a coincidence. That's a synchronicity. That was him saying, stop worrying, calm down. And, I went through a couple of spirals over the last 2 nights. And, the night before last, I was in this really heavy energy. And, I was really upset. And then I got a download for a song, the song, I'm Never Gonna Change My Love For You, or something like that. I can't remember the words. But, it was literally my twin coming through with a song to say, look, I love you. Trust me, this is happening. When we're getting these signs and synchronicities, when we're in this unworthiness wound energy, we're not trusting the 5D. We're not trusting the signs. We'll see 222 and we roll our eyes going, when's it going to happen? And the reason we're like this is because our inner child is wounded right now, and we need to heal that energy. And this is so important. This is what it is, right? We need to believe in order to see, and we need to trust in order to get confirmation. Whereas we're in the energy of, I'll trust everything when I get confirmation. No. The universe is not going to give you confirmation until you already trust. And if you're in the wounded energy of your inner child, you're going to be you're going to be creating red flags. This is the thing. When we're in this painful energy, we're not actually getting confirmation of our thoughts. We're creating confirmation of our thoughts. We think that if they reach out, if we hear from them, that everything's going to be okay. But no, we need to heal these wounds first. And the only way we're going to actually remain in faith and open our heart is if we start to obviously heal the wound, but also trust in the dynamic. This is the thing as well. Our twin flame is doing the work. They are doing that work behind the scenes. But if we're not actually trusting them, we're sending an energy of, distrust. So like we're going through an unworthiness wound as well. They're mirroring that. They don't think that they're good enough for us either. But if we're in the energy of, I'm unworthy, I feel like shit, he's not going to choose me, we're also sending that, and we're also in the 5D energy going, you fucking asshole, why aren't you texting me, why aren't you doing this, why aren't you doing that? That energy is sending, like it's enhancing their unworthiness wound as well as enhancing your own. So the more you uplift yourself, the more you feel worthy in yourself, the more that they're going to feel worthy in themselves as well. And one download I did get this morning, because I was in a heavy energy again last night, and this is the I suppose the best thing about this healing being accelerated right now is that we'll have it's a roller coaster, but like literally we will be going through this heavy energy, but the next day we'll get a download from our twin flame, a connection through to telepathy and the 5D from our twin flame to say, hey, everything's okay, everything's going to be fine. Those signs and synchronicities, they're not coincidences. That's your twin flame saying to you, I'm doing the work, I'm coming back, you just need to give me time. And this is the thing, they're trying to evolve into the man that you or man or woman that you deserve. So like, and that's what you're doing as well. You're evolving into the best version of yourself by doing that inner work and doing that healing. They're doing the same. And like, you know, they're building that empire for you, for themselves and for you behind the scenes. Right now, they need that time and space to create what you deserve, the same way you need the time and space to create what they deserve. You know what I mean? So we're actually, obviously, first of all, we're doing the inner work for ourselves. We're doing the inner work for our divine mission, but we're also doing the inner work for them. And if you're doing that inner work, so are they. But if you're in the energy of, I don't trust you and you're not doing the work and da-da-da-da-da, they're not going to feel, they're not going to feel worthy. They're going to feel like shit. You know what I mean? If you keep telling somebody, like effectively, you keep telling somebody, like, you know, man up or do this or do that or, you know, you have to do this or whatever. You're literally saying to them, you're not worth it and you're a piece of shit and you're not going to evolve into anything. This is what happens, especially when we're kids, like, and we're told, like, you know, you're not going to get to amount to anything. But if you're telling yourself you're unworthy, or if you're telepathically telling your twin flame he's not doing the work, that's effectively telling yourself and them that you're unworthy. You have to start, like, you know, if you encourage somebody, if you turn around to somebody and say, well done, I'm proud of you for doing all this hard work, they're going to work better. They're going to work faster. You know what I mean? So we need to send the energy towards ourselves, of course, that we're good enough, that we're doing this, that we're empowering ourselves. But we have to send the energy towards them as well. Send them that praise. Tell them you're proud of them. Tell them that you believe in them. And this is another thing. This is the promise he made between souls. And this is something that came to me last year. Was like, you know, I have to believe and trust in the promise that we made. We made a promise to each other to do the work, to evolve, to come into divine union. But if you keep doubting the connection, they're going to go further and further away. You know what I mean? Or it's, you know, they're still going to come back, but it's just going to delay things. So you have to change what you know, like trust in your twin flame is sending you signs every day. Their names, synchronicities, these numbers, they're coming to you in dreams. You know, these random downloads of knowings, you're getting visions of their life right now. And they're giving you that confirmation on the 5D that they are doing the work. So trust in that. Trust in what you feel. Trust in what they're showing you. And this is it. Like your ego mind, the fear-based mind, that's creating scenarios that aren't real because of the shit that we went through in the past. So in healing your stuff, you can come to a place of surrender, you know, and decipher, is this a fear based on my past or is this truth? Are you creating, we're great story fucking tellers, are you creating this massive fucking, this story of what your twin flame is doing? You've no proof of that. You've not seen any proof of it and you're creating a scenario in your head. Or are you basing your fears on thoughts or on truths? Because effectively, your fears are based on your wounding. So remove the fear for a minute and ask yourself, what do you feel? What do you feel in your heart and what do you feel in your soul? That's the truth. Do you trust them? Ask yourself that question. Forget about the 3D contact for a minute. Forget about the ghosting. Do you trust their energy? Do you trust how you feel in their presence? Do you feel that they are strong enough and do you believe in them enough to do that inner work? Forget the 3D contact for a minute. Do you trust them deep down in your soul? these are what things that you need to work on, or to understand or to believe, is what you feel. What you feel in their presence. Not what your fear makes you feel or worry. What you feel in their presence. What you feel in their energy. What you feel through their soul. That's the most important thing here. Trusting what you don't see. And I promise you, when you believe, you will see. When you trust, you will get that confirmation. So trust in them, trust in yourself, and trust in this process. You do not need 3D contact right now. Both of you are still doing inner work. Both of you are still doing external work. Both of you are still evolving. You both need space for that. They are creating the empire for you as you're creating an empire for them and each other. Do you know what I mean? You're doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for them as well. And they're doing it for you. They really are. So trust in the energetic side of things. Trust in those signs that you're getting. Trust in the telepathy that you're receiving from them. This is the most important thing. You know, forget about your fears right now. Heal your wounds that is in connection to those fears. And just start to trust. Trust in the spiritual side of this. Trust in your spiritual bond and your spiritual connection, because that is what is true. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you would like help in your journey, please book me for a free discovery call today, and I'll look more than to help in your path. Also, I have another channel called Aligning with Angie, where I share a guided meditation every week. The info for that is in the description box.